Sound check. Sound check. One. What do you think? Welcome, classic rock fans, to another episode of Classic Gig Revisited. And for this one, I'd like to go back to the 90s, early 90s, I think, to see Tori Amos at the Free Trade Hall. Now, at the time, I was a huge fan of Tori Amos. I loved the Little Earthquakes album, the Under the Pink album. And I used to write the odd article. There used to be a fanzine called Take to the Sky. And I wrote a couple of articles that made their way into that. The fanzine was originally going to be called Precious Things, I believe, but Tori Amos didn't like the title of that being the title of the fanzine, so they did change it to Take to the Sky. I had all the issues as they came out. I met Tori Amos quite a few times as well after gigs, and there are photographs of me with her. I think if I dig one out, I will publish it on this video, although I do warn you, I did have hair in those days. But anyway, the gig I'd like to talk about in particular is this one. I've still got the ticket. Where are we? Tori Amos at the Manchester Free Trade Hall on the 1st of March 1994, which was how long ago? My God, 25 years ago, isn't it? No, 23 years ago. Long time anyway. And there's the ticket, as I said, if you can see that. I've still kept it. I adored her so much that I had a ticket to see her in Leeds as well, but I couldn't make that gigs. But I did go and see her at the York Barbican later on, so I've still got the ticket for that as well. The York Barbican on that same tour. Now, the support at the time was provided by the Divine Comedy, who started off as a full ensemble band at the start of the tour, but by the time we got to York, at the end of the tour, it was just the guy and the guitar. I can't remember his name, but I remember thinking they were good, and I enjoyed their set. Now, Tori, in those days, she would just be her and a piano, and the first two albums, of course, reflect that, or first three, if you want to take into consideration the Why Can't Tori Read album. But obviously, Little Earthquakes and Under the Pink were a massive departure from that. That was her rock chick thing. But so it was just her and a piano. I had very good seats as well. I was only a few rows from the front, I think. So I had and she regaled us with lots of intimate storytelling and tracks like, obviously, Crucify, Winter, those staples from the Little Earthquakes album. Under the Pink, she did God. Did she do Past the Mission? I can't remember. She did Pretty Good Year, which was a lovely song, I think. Anastasia, which I think is another one off the Under the Pink album. But thankfully, 2 or 3 of these tracks from this concert made their way onto, I think, Pretty Good Year, or one of her single releases. A couple of the songs were from the Free Trade Hall, so I'm actually famous. I'm on a recording somewhere. I must admit, I did like the venue, actually. The Free Trade Hall was a nice venue. I've only ever been to one concert there, and that was it. I'm trying to think what else, other songs she did. Obviously, she did Precious Things. I think she did Little Earthquakes. But it was a great show, and I got to meet her after the show. I got my copy of Under the Pink signed, I think. I don't even know if I still have it or not, but I certainly met her before the York gig and got a few things signed there as well. Interestingly enough, at this gig, there were no programmes for sale. I think I read somewhere or heard somewhere that they were nicked, or for some reason the blueprints were pinched or something, so she couldn't produce the programmes till later on in the tour. But when they were available, by the time she played the York Barbican Theatre, I did purchase one, and I still have it. That was it for the Under the Pink tour. That was the programme that was released. Let's have a look at some of the pictures in here. Nice sort of Tori-esque stuff. Tori-esque, it's going to be a new adjective. Tori-esque. That's her there. I think that might be her boyfriend at the time. I think she split with her boyfriend by the end of this tour, unfortunately. For the record, I think the best Tori Amos album ever is, I mean, as much as I'm very affectionate about regarding Little Earthquakes and Under the Pink, my favourite album is Boys for Pelly. It's a very accomplished, sophisticated and matured piece compared to those first two albums, and I love it dearly. I saw it on the Pelé tour as well at the Newcastle City Hall, but it's more pictures from that programme. Tori washing her feet. Of course, Cornflake Girl at this time was the big single, which I had as on a limited edition digipack. That's more stuff, more pictures. You can see that. Pretty good year. I think it's obviously about the lyrics of the album. More tour info. The Really Deep Thoughts fanzine was the USA. Take to the Sky fanzine. Contact Steve Jenkins. Lived in Kent. Anyway, were you there? Did you see me there? I had hair in those days, of course. Share your thoughts and impressions from this concert below. Obviously, click like, subscribe, follow the Facebook page, but more importantly, please do keep listening.